My name's Ron, and I'd like to tell you all I'm a very, very happy country manager because I manage a great company in a great country. Actually, I do too, Moldova and Romania. But I am in Romania running IBM out of choice. I could have taken the desk job, but I decided to come here in the field, and I am here because of Nikolai. Because Nikolai is very visionary, and I like his vision, so it matches. Now, the title of the presentation is Smarter Cities in the Cognitive Era, because we are in a cognitive era. But before I begin, Julian's presentation was great, and what is IBM known for?
Computers.
There we go. Which maybe 8 years ago was maybe about 70% of our business. Today it's less than 10. Amazing. So we need to work on the branding a bit as well. But what we have moved into is all about data. Because everything Julian showed is good. Now we go a bit deeper. And then we talk about infrastructure. We talk about engaging. But everything, and the common thing with everything is data. And today, when I look at IBM, IBM is a data company. And it's actually one of our imperative pillars of growth, data. Because everybody connected together with the infrastructure, at the end is sending data back and forth. It could be between the citizens, back into the municipality, and from the municipality down to the citizens. And with cognitive, what makes cognitive so special is looking at data and analyzing it adds no value to the city. But looking at the data and making predictive ideas, looking in the future and saying where would be the best place to invest, how could we help the citizens, then we have a cognitive approach. So let's dive in. The first thing about being a smarter city is about communications. To be smart, you need to communicate. There's got to be communications going both ways. It needs to be open, valuable, and needs to make an impact for the citizens. And when everybody talks about smarter city, they talk about providing feedback, reductions, prediction, transformation, help maximize. They're all really positive words that make the city better. And it touches every one of the citizens in the city. So, what does a city need to be? I could share with you, and I actually wrote this down, so I'll read it to you. What do we want to achieve? What should a smart city be without talking technological terms? I can talk about algorithms, I can talk about databases, I can talk about computers. No. What a city needs to be is prepared and ready. And prepared and ready is a predictive approach. It's an approach that we've connected all the points together, connected all the information together, and now we can give a predictive approach of, let's say, transportation, water, maybe cycle routes, weather. So that all comes from being predictive. A city also needs to be best of breed class. The city needs to have the freedom to decide what do they want to do. Too many times I visit cities and the approach is the R&R approach. Rip and replace. Cities invest, the vendor comes in and says take it all out, and we start all over again. That doesn't help with the money in the city, and it doesn't really get the city progressing because they keep on going backward. The IBM approach is whatever you've invested in, you keep, and you grow from there. The next thing is a branding attitude. We heard from Julian about branding, but branding means the city is investing, or the municipality is investing in the city. They're investing in the city. It's good for the citizens. It's being proactive versus reactive. And the last thing is, a city should be run with best practices. Like a business, like a corporation. It should have structure, and it should have a consolidated view. Because we find everybody works in their silos, everybody has information, but they don't share. One of the other things I've done is what makes a leading city. So, a leading city would be a city that has 4 major building blocks that are technology based. The first one, applications and solutions. For the citizen, they can run them on their iPhones, and for the municipality as well, different types of solution. Let it be smarter transportation, smarter parking, smarter biking, smarter water, and so on and so forth. The next thing is having the capabilities to take all that data from all the different applications, consolidating it, and that's what we call big data, and analyzing it. If we have bikes parked here and we see all our citizens are here, then maybe we should move the bikes. Internet of Things. And I'm sure everybody knows what the Internet of Things is. It's connecting all the devices, let them be also bikes and cars and everything else in the city, creating data, and that data goes back to the municipality. And a digital infrastructure. And that's actually the actual infrastructure that we put all the Internet of Things connected with. But the most important thing in it is the integration. Having all these things integrated into a single point of contact. And that's where we come in, and I will show you a slide on that as well. But what I've done, when I looked at leading cities, I wanted to see the role of IT and how do they see their role. So I took a whole bunch of quotes from different IT managers around the world, and they talk about data drives everything in the city today. It is the new oil. IBM looks at data as being the new natural resource. And I'll read you a quote from a CIO. My role is to prioritize the city as a corporation. It's the structure. And they all want to touch mobility as well, because mobile applications are going up, and every one of the citizens has mobile, and that's talking about being connected. So now you have your citizens walking, running, cycling, driving in the city. They're all connected to the municipality. The municipality knows, let's take a predictive approach, knows that there's a problem somewhere. They can shoot down into the mobile phones and give and offer alternative routes to the citizens while they're driving. So now you have dual communication, and that is like one of the examples of a core of a smarter city. What I will do is I'll take you, this is not technical, but this is really talking about what do we do. We see smarter cities being a 6-phased approach. The first phase is the discovery phase. And in the discovery phase, we do all kinds of analysis. We want to see, where does the city want to invest? Do they want to reduce risk? Do they want to reduce municipality costs? Better planning, better response to the citizens. Then, after this phase, we go to the application phase. And here is what I talk about freedom. Because I could come and say, IBM will do all this, but I want to give the cities, because there are companies in the world that have done 200 smarter parkings. I think they are probably the best in the world. Let the city have the flexibility to choose and work with whoever they want. But what happens, all of these are silos. All of these create raw data. But the data needs to come together, because the applications could be parking, lighting, public safety, could be education. And instead of everybody working on parallel streams, let's put everything into a centralized place. And that's where we come in as an integration point. we take all those little data points, we put them all together, and we provide a view on an iPad or a dashboard back to the municipality. So they can see at every time what is happening with public safety, transportation, bus routes, and so on. Now, the other nice thing about it is it begins to cross-reference. It's an integration point. All the data sits there. You can start looking at different things and start doing segmentation. Actually, all the people on the bus right now are between these ages. And then try to find out why and maybe offer them something. So it's all putting the data together. And of course, it's the view, and it has to be very simple. And then starts the cognitive side, the predictive side. Because again, when I started, I told you about data. And looking at data backwards is not going to help you go forward. Let's look at the data and let's make some predictive analysis to give you, and we call it an advisor. Let the tool be an advisor to you with a confidence rating and saying, you know what, for these buses, it would probably be best that you would add another route, maybe change the route a bit because of the school. This school finishes at this time. More parents are coming from here, and it starts putting all the data together. So that is our approach, and really we come in from here. Integrate all the data, give it structure, provide a view, and advise better, because in cognitive, what happens is you've got a very big machine sitting in the back doing all kinds of analysis and coming back and saying, here are your 3 better options than you would do today. The nice thing about smarter cities, and I think it's important, it's somebody is taking care of the city. They are watching it all the time. And every day, working predictively, they discover something new that can be better for the city. We talked about it, centralizing data. And then what happens? You have that 360 degree. All the data becomes very visible from all the different applications that are running as silos. It provides insights that become actions. Small issues before they become problems. And if you look at managing all this data, because you have the infrastructure, you have all of the different devices connected, it's too much for a single human to handle. So then you start investing in many people sitting in the control center. But still, the computer will always do it faster. And the last thing is the view in terms of city services. They should not be paid for actions. They should be paid for quality. You should add, like in a corporation, KPIs, key performance indicators. So it really changes the role of the municipality. The municipality becomes a corporation. People working for the municipality get measured on the results they do. And the municipality can feed their citizens with information. Now, I've talked enough. Now I'm going to show you a demo. We can leave it interactive. I've cut the sound out of the demo, and you can see the way we work with an iPad, because IBM signed an alliance with Apple. It has the look and feel of an Apple iPad, but you will see, and it's very self-explanatory. So, there's the iPad. So we're looking at safety, we're looking at transportation, we're looking at water management. We're looking at crime, citizen collaboration. So these are the citizens coming back on SMSs back to the city, and it also will provide sentiments as well. So, and you can see it's very, very simple. And this is the look and feel. This is a this is a demo of a live system we did in Montpellier in France. That the whole city today is run on this iPad. So from a city perspective, think of it. You take your iPad and you've got everything there. You can see everything. You can see what districts, you can see the crimes, you can see transportation, you can get information, sentiments. Are they happy with the cleanup? Are they happy with the transportation? And then you have a dialogue between the citizens and the city. What I'd like to do for the closing, in my presentation there were no technical terms. It's all things that you can understand, you can relate to and touch. And when you get to that point, then it's also good for the citizens. And there are too many articles, there are too many white pages going around that really go deep technical. And it has to be very representative, very visual. And again, that's why we use, sorry, Android users, but Apple type technology, the look and feel. So what we do on iPads, you can have it on the watch, back to the citizens, and on their iPhones or Androids as well. Okay, thank you.